Bonsoir! Welcome to another episode of Cuisine Michelle. I am Michelle. So today, or tonight rather, I'm going to be trying a recipe for dinner for something I haven't made before. Well, I have made duck breast before, but I've never tried this particular recipe. This is going to be Sherry-Lemongrass glazed duck breast. And so we have to start off with making the sauce that's going to go on it. Oh, and this is from harvestyourown.ca for the website. I will have that, of course, linked in the description. So anyway, here in my small saucepan, I've got about a tablespoon or so, maybe a little less, probably a half tablespoon of canola oil, because I'm making half of what the recipe is on the website since I only need it for 2 duck breasts. Feel free to make more. Of course, you could double it and make the regular amount here of what I'm going to say, I should say. So anyway, I've got about a half tablespoon, I would say, of canola oil, and I've cut up about 1/6 of a cup, so half of a 1/3 cup of shallots here. We're going to be turning that on and sweating the shallots on a medium-low heat for about 3 minutes. All right, so we've sweated these for about 3 minutes now. So to this mixture, we're going to be adding a little over a half tablespoon of cut up or minced up ginger, fresh ginger. And a half cup of lemongrass. You want those tender parts for the most of this. You don't want it to be the tough, stalky parts. And I can tell you that this takes a very long time to do. So make sure that if you are going to do this recipe, and especially if you're going to do the full version, you will need many, many stalks of lemongrass in order to get enough for this. I think for the half cup, I ended up using probably 20 stalks, maybe not quite that many, but 15 to 20, somewhere in there. Anyway, we need to cook this for about a minute. All right, so the next thing that we're going to be adding in is a half cup of regular sugar and a half cup of sherry vinegar. So this is going to comprise our glaze. What we're going to do is bring this to a simmer. And once it reaches simmer, we are going to simmer that for about 10 minutes or until it reaches a syrupy consistency. All right, so while the sauce is simmering, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my duck breast. So what I've done is to cut some hash marks of sorts into them. Try not to cut into the actual meat. So you can see like how it's kind of a lighter color right there. It's not the actual color of the meat. So cut through and make just a little bit of hash cuts across like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. And you're going to want to heat a pan. It doesn't say to use cast iron, but that's a preference of mine for cooking like this. So I'm going to be heating this over low heat. You want to go low and slow when it comes to duck breast. So we're going to put that with the skin side down. And I did season them with salt and pepper, and you can season the other side with salt and pepper. And what's going to happen here is we are going to be cooking this for about 8 to 10 minutes. And during that time, it's going to render the fat out. And that fat is great for using for cooking other things like potatoes and stuff like that. So you'll want to save that fat that renders off. It'll probably take, like I said, about 8 to 10 minutes, possibly longer depending on your stove. All right, so these have been going for, I'd say at least 10 minutes, probably actually closer to 15. I had to kind of play with my heat just a little, but I have noticed that they are starting to brown, and it says once they're starting to brown on the other side, you want to flip them over. So I've got my skin nice and crisp here. You can see all that fat has rendered out. Like I said, you'll want to save this fat, and I cut off some of the bits of fat that were kind of hanging over the edges with these duck breasts because I don't want to waste the fat that could be skimmed off of there as it cooks. Anyway, I'm going to increase my heat just a teeny bit. Now don't pay attention to the setting that I use because my stove is a little finicky. But I would say maybe closer to, not exactly medium, but you'll want it to be like a little bit under medium. And you're going to cook that on the other side to your desired level of doneness. Now, some people like to serve duck medium rare, some like it medium. And if you're one of those people that likes well done, this is probably not the kind of thing for you to have because duck, when it's well done, is going to turn into rubber. It's really not going to be all that pleasant to eat. It's more like having a steak. But anyway, we'll let these cook the rest of the way, and then I will see you at final plating. All right, so here we are at final plating. So I've already put the sauce over it, and I do want to make a note about the sauce. I had to actually increase the heat past simmer, more like a boil, to get it to that syrupy consistency. So I want that to be definitely noted. And so I am going to cut into this, and we will take a taste test to see how it is. Get myself a small enough bite. Mmm. Mmm. Oh my, that is a wonderful sauce on there. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend this, especially if you've never done duck breast before. This is pretty easy to do. And the sauce as well, other than the lemongrass cutting up. Anyway, I hope you will join me for another episode of Cuisine Michelle sometime. Please be sure to like and share, subscribe, and leave a comment, and we'll see you next time. Au revoir.